What have you got for me today then, Lewis?
So, something a little special.
Woo! A little brown box, my favourite. The Monimoto 7. Today I've got my hands on the Monimoto 7. It's the latest in Monimoto's lineup of trackers. Now, we reviewed the old Monimoto 6 on the channel last year. You can check out the review up here, but we're going to unbox this one today. I've not seen one in the plastic yet, so let's take a look and go through this together. Now, from what I understand, they are quite similar to the old one, but they've changed a few features and made it better. That's nice, isn't it? Shiny blue box. Now it's smaller, so the old one came in a tube, and now we've got a rectangle box. Anti-theft GPS tracker for your vehicle. Does exactly what it says on the box, nice and easy. LTEM, that's an important new feature for the Monimoto 7 tracker. And then we've got a little bit of how-tos on the back, and there we go. Do not accept if seal is broken. So you can tell I've not even looked at this one yet, because that seal is still nice and intact. So just cut it, push it out. Oh, lovely little box. Get rid of that top bit. To start, download Monimoto app. Nice, simple instruction. And this, there we go. So we've got our cable ties here, which we're going to use to fix the Monimoto tracker to our bike. And this is the new tracker, so it's no longer that sort of chunky tube. We've got this nice sort of almost credit card sized, quite a bit thicker than a credit card, but that should be a little bit easier for people to try and hide it on their bikes. Maybe some complaints of the Monimoto 6 was maybe it wasn't the easiest device to hide. It was round, it was a tube, it was quite long. This is a much slimmer item in profile, so trying to hide this somewhere on your bike is going to be a lot easier. Got the key fob in here as well. And quite a long instruction book. And that's everything in the box. It's quite a simple device. It's very easy to use. We go through a lot of how to set the device up in our previous video, so you can watch that, but we'll run through some steps here quite quickly as well. And here is the new Monimoto 7 against the older Monimoto 6. You can see when they're side by side quite how different the device is and how much it's changed. So I'm just reading the instructions. Let's get rid of that. So now the old one, you had to like pull the top off and it was quite hard. So hopefully this one's a little bit easier. We've got a little pull there. That was quite easy. Comes with batteries installed, which is quite nice. Sometimes you have to buy your own and that's a bit disappointing. Remove before use. Once the batteries are all in and it's all on, you'll see that little green light appear. And that's it, that's ready to go. So when you've downloaded the app on your phone, it will ask you for the serial number of your device, which you can find on the back here. We're going to move into the app. So I have been using the Monimoto 6 for about the last year. I think that's when I recorded from the last one, but I've had to remove it off my app now because we've got the Monimoto 7. So we're going to get this one set up, and also you see what it looks like when you start from fresh. So we're going to download the app and we're going to click on that and open it up. Now, open straight up, it's going to prepare Monimoto, and it gives us the option of model MM5 or model MM7. It will give you the instructions of how to activate. We've opened the back up, we've removed the battery strip, we've seen the green light, we know this is good to go. We can come back onto our app now and press the next button. Select the key fob you have. I mean, that's quite distinct. It gives you two to pick from. We're going to go for the one that looks like the one that we have. Place Monimoto and key fob very close to your phone. Name your Monimoto. What should we call it this time? And this part here has my phone number in it. Can you make sure it's blurred out? Probably this time. We've got a motorcycle, so we're going to have motorcycle, but obviously you can use this for any vehicle you have. That's why it gives you the option for car as well. So Monimoto is going to now send me a text message just to register my device. So now it's just asking for permission to use the Bluetooth on my phone and the GPS. And here we go. Check the serial number to make sure you have selected the right device. So if we come onto the back, we've got serial number under there. So on my phone, it's asking for mm.da-da-da-da-da, and we're going to make sure that our serial number matches that there, which it does. Firmware update available. Now we can update it right now, or we can do it later on. I'd always recommend just doing it now because you'll forget if you do it later. Although if you do have a firmware update, anytime you open the Monimoto app, it's going to let you know and remind you to update it. Firmware has been successfully transferred. That took about a minute. And now it is actually going to set up my Monimoto. Configuring key fob. It's quite simple, it walks you through. That's what I quite like about Monimoto. I mean, if you watched the last video that we did on it, it was a very easy and straightforward setup. Once again, same time around, nice and easy. Whilst it's doing that, basically the Monimoto 7, obviously apart from the design changes to make it a little bit easier to conceal on your vehicle, it also has some updates to like networks and the way that it connects and looks at things. So like I said on the box earlier, we have LTE-M. That's just the newest sort of phone network that's around. It still works on the 2G, but it also works on this as well to try and sort of GPS locate itself. I think it wasn't so much the UK market that needed it, but over in the US and other countries, they needed to update onto the latest networks because they were turning off old ones. But that's quite nice because it means that the Monimoto got updated, it's on the new ones, and it's got a better sort of GPS tracker. It also has a new feature where it can use Wi-Fi for if it's indoors. So it'll actually pick up off sort of local Wi-Fi networks and help to sort of pinpoint it. You know, if you're going to a building, it might lose connection to GPS, but using something called the Internet of Things, it's able to pick up on a Wi-Fi network and transmit its location. It's quite a cool little feature. Not something I've tested out personally, but we'll give it a go a bit later on. It's checking the GSM network, up to 2 minutes. Let's go through some other things while it's doing that. I made some notes. It wasn't a complete surprise what Lewis gave me today. It's IP65 waterproof rated, so you wouldn't go diving with it, you wouldn't attach it to your jet ski, but putting it on a motorcycle and it not being directly hit by water, I mean, it will take sort of, if you hit it with a jet wash while you're cleaning your bike, that would be fine, but I wouldn't submerge it, wouldn't ride your bike into a swimming pool. That's no good. Yeah, riding your bike into swimming pools. No good. Now the pricing of it is slightly more expensive than the old model by £10. The yearly subscription stays the same. That's just you know, a SIM card subscription. Now you could, I think, remove the SIM card in the old model. In this one, it's embedded. Like when I took the back off, it's just the battery access that you've got. You can't see the chip or the SIM. It's, you know, it's actually embedded into the circuit board, if you like, of the device. That's fine, and you update and sort out all your subscriptions in the app. And again, that's about £35 for the year, so it's quite reasonable, especially if you look at sort of other trackers on the market. They can be quite expensive when you add in sort of fitting and the monthly costs. So going on from that, I went to renew my bike insurance this year, said I had a Monimoto tracker. Now it's not Thatcham approved, so I didn't get any discounts or anything like that, but it does give me that peace of mind that I am able to track my bike and, you know, could potentially help me get it back. Okay, so literally as soon as Lewis hit the button on the camera, it came up with an error saying it couldn't work, and then I pressed connect, and then it said everything was fine, and it's all working. Giving me my battery percentages, it's fantastic, but it also sent me a text message. So the text message was from Monimoto themselves. Welcome, I am your Monimoto. Please save this number to phone book. I will call you when alarm occurs. Quite straightforward, so I'm going to add that contact. I'm going to save that as Monimoto. So if you ever get a phone call from that number, that is your Monimoto box giving you a call and letting you know that something is afoot, it's being stolen, your bike's being moved, something like that, or your fob has gone out of range. To briefly go through the app real quick. So home shows us our Monimoto device, gives us the battery level, tells us it's ready, and shows you got your key fobs are ready and connected. Then you've got events along the bottom. That will check in with you every day just to let you know that everything is safe and well, or if it's not safe and well, it'll give you an action point to do. There we go, welcome, your Monimoto is ready. Help, just a support page. If you need information, that will provide it for you. Then in the settings tab, we can actually go through and tweak a couple of little things. So if you hit settings again, change the name of it, set up whether it's for a car or a motorcycle, and then you can also change that check-in date. Remember I said on the events tab, it will tell you every day. Well, you can change that all the way up to 40 days. So it's only going to check up with you every once in a while. I'm going to have it daily. It's just nice to know that it's working. Show location on regular update. That's if you want the Monimoto to sort of ping you the location of where your bike is with that, you know, that daily update or however long you set it for. By default, it won't do that because it uses up a little bit more of the battery life. And actually the Monimoto will only tell you the location when it gets out of reach of the fob. So if you want to turn that on, you can turn it on so you always know where it is. But really, unless it's gone walkies, it's where you left it. Motion sensitivity, again, you can change that, low, medium, high. Then if we come into key fobs, you can have actually up to 3 key fobs per Monimoto device. So say you've got maybe multiple sets of keys, or you might have a motorcycle and you and your partner rides it, then you can both have a fob, and then no matter which one of you is out on the bike, you'll have the tracking active for both of you. So these are, I think they're about £29 for a spare one, and like I said, you can have up to 3 per Monimoto device, so you can stack up on a couple of those ones. And again, that's going to increase and decrease the range, so you can make it more or less sensitive. Now, obviously, the way that the Monimoto works is once the Monimoto tracker or your motorcycle gets out of range of the key fob or out of a certain range, then it will call you and notify that your bike is, it's gone walkies, it's somewhere else. So if you're at home and you want it to be a little bit more sensitive, you might be sat in the front room or you keep your keys quite close to your bike, you want to be notified as soon as it leaves the driveway, then experiment with the signal range and you can reduce that down, and just get somebody to go outside and sort of move the bike away, and then you'll know when it triggers. You might want a bit more sensitivity, because maybe on the full range they might get a bit further down the road. Again, it's up to you how you want it to work, but it's nice that it gives you that flexibility. Unpair will obviously unpair your Monimoto device, which is what I did with my old Monimoto to reattach this new Monimoto one. But that'll just basically unlink it, and you'll have to go through the whole linking process with the serial number once again. If stolen together with key fob start active tracking, that's quite a handy one, so you can press that button and then it will locate and sort of pinpoint where the Monimoto is. That's also why I say don't keep the key fob on your bike's keys, because if you've got the key fob on your bike keys, someone steals the bike keys and then steals your bike, these are now close together and they will never sort of go off, because it's always in range, so it thinks it's safe. Hit that start active tracking and it will then actively look for this, the Monimoto. But that's why I sort of recommend keeping them separate so that the tracking starts straight away as soon as it's out of range. The bulk of the Monimoto stuff I discussed in the last video. Again, you can watch it up there. But effectively, don't just plonk this under your seat, because anybody can just get under the seat in like 2 seconds and throw this away, and then your tracking is gone. Do try and bury it somewhere that people can't find it. Yeah, it might take you half a day or a day to get it lost, but the only time you're ever really going to have to do that, go and find it again, is maybe once a year when the battery runs out and you've got to change the batteries. It's only 2 AA's, they do last quite a long time, especially with these lithium ones that they put in here. I would recommend replacing them with high quality ones so you don't have to change them as often. And again, it's a much easier device to fit. My maybe one complaint when fitting is just that there's no, on the old Monimoto, you had like little tabs to loop the cable tie through, which made it give you a little bit more flexibility. But I suppose on the flip side, this is just a much easier device to conceal it in general. So it sort of swings and roundabouts really, that we don't have the loops to go through, but we do have these nice sort of suggestions of where the cable tie should go. And once that's all cinched in tight, that will actually sort of not move. It won't be a problem. Just a little bugbear that I'm trying to kind of point out. The batteries in the fob also last a long time too, and these are CR2450 cells. You can order those. Not all shops stock them, but you can get them online. Again, you can get all the batteries online quite easy. I'll pop a link in the description if you need links to batteries. Right, Monimoto is fitted to my bike. Got the key fob here, gonna pop that in my pocket. And it was all straightforward. It helps that my bike was quite easy to take apart, but also, not again. Come on, man. Give me a break.